I get a really cool super chance to actually talk to one of the artists for DC. Wow, this is so pretty cool. So let me just have you introduce yourself a little bit to the world.
Hello, my name is Ryan Benjamin. I am a DC Comics artist.
One of the things that we're here to talk about is your involvement in the Immortal Men. Yes. Now, I'm kind of going into this not really knowing that much about it other than the Immortal Man seems to be the most retro of all the characters. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Immortal Men is basically the classic comic book storytelling, all in this new age, this new, and it just has a new face to it. Basically, it's something I can't go into too much detail. I don't want to give away too much of the script. Someone has powers. They're figuring out what's new about their powers, and as they move on, there's other people around them that's seeing that they have these powers to it at the same time.
Are you already familiar with the character of Immortal Man before being involved with the project, or did you kind of learn as you go?
When he first came to me about the story, I was like, okay, this is I really love the plot. I love the premise of this. And then when I actually saw the art that was already drawn for this, all the promotional stuff like that, that hooked me even more. And I'm kind of like a visual guy, so when I see something, that really attaches me to the whole project, the story and everything. So
with the kind of the history of the Immortal Man, is there something that you kept art-wise in terms of the new character style?
No.
Yeah,
this is all new. This is new direction. There's some isms within the storyline that like I said, it's a classic story, but comic book telling. But there's some isms that's in there that actually reflects actual events throughout development of different comic book studios from the past that I've seen. So that really attached me to it. I'm like, okay, I can see this. I can see where things are like kind of leveled, and I went with it. I really like it.
People who are familiar with the Immortal Man, they're going to see something new when this comes out in April, right?
They're going to see something new. Jim Lee started off this entire series. He's doing amazing art. There's something else, and I'm getting handed some of the preview work right here. This is all Jim. It's not me. Yeah, this is definitely one of the things. When I heard it, it hooked me. I was attracted to it, and I said, okay, I would love to be part of this. One of the things I can say, now there was a couple things that actually hooked me. Obviously, I'm a visual guy, but as far as like the story part of it, the thing that hooked me was the fact that we had this one character. His name is Caden, and he's figuring out that he has these powers, and as he's going on, other people are figuring out about that there's these powers too. So to me it's like, okay, it's a fresh. When you see through the character's eyes, it's almost like, okay, everyone's discovering something new, which is cool. But if you really think about it, it's a story that's been told before. It's nothing really new about it, but it has just a new spin and new faces on it. It's new art, new characters. It's a new direction. And that's one of the things that I really like about it.
About your own history, like as an artist for DC, like how you got your start into art and like your influences and such.
I started drawing comics right after college. I was sitting in school in Miami and was trying to figure out life like any typical college student, and the opportunity came across my way when I actually got the call from Jim Lee to say, hey, I want you to come join me at my studio. And so I'm like freaking out at home. I went to my friend who actually owned a comic book shop called Comic Quest. This was in Miami a long time ago, and he's freaking out. All my comic friends. It was It was just like Comic Book Men, you know, the TV show was just like that. So we're freaking out, and eventually I'm on a plane. They flew me out to San Diego, and I'm sitting in a studio with you know, Jeff Campbell and Silvestri and Travis Terrell and, you know, Scott Williams and, you know, Trevor Scott, all these guys. So we're hanging out and just drawing in one little room, everyone just drawing together, and we did that for years. That was the origins of my comic book career, and it just kind of grew from there.
When you first started becoming an artist, was there like a particular character that you loved to draw, like study on, as you started to develop?
Grifter. Yeah, I mean, when I was in love with Grifter when I first saw him, and then when the opportunity came for me to actually draw the book, I'm freaking out. Like, I don't believe I'm drawing. I'm here getting ready to draw Grifter. So as I'm drawing, true story, the first time I saw, as I'm drawing one of the pages, Jim Lee came by and he stood over my shoulder. And he's the type of guy that he kind of looks at your stuff. He's like, okay, cool. And then he walks on. But this time he stood there and he was like, He kept looking. And I'm like, okay, why is Jim over my shoulder while I'm drawing Grifter? But he stood there for like 5 minutes just looking at me draw this piece. So I was kind of like intimidated a little bit. And it turned out to be one of the best pieces in the entire book. So, yeah, it's one thing it's happened years ago and it's still in my head.
What will be like your message for fans to look forward to for the Immortal Men?
Amazing art. Hopefully, I'm not trying to say I'm an amazing artist. I'm just saying, from what I've seen, the storytelling is amazing. The art attracts me and the story hooks me, and I was hooked when I saw the story. So so trust me, when you see the story, it will hook you. There's not much I can say about it.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you so much. Thank you.